previous videos, in one of the videos, I'll take us through how I sketch my logos and all of that, so we can see how things are done in a basic way. So basically today we are going to design a simple logo, a simple but yet an outstanding logo for a gaming brand, which is Game Arena. Okay, Game Arena. So we'll be using a combination of letter G, like more like a pad, and letter A that looks more like a brick, but you set one side on another, and a dot. Hope you get it. So we crafted something like this right here, something like this letter G, or something like this, and something like this. So we have something like this right here, something like this, whereby the other A will rest on the other one, and then we have a little dot right here. So let's dive into this. So we are designing the G first. So basically, for this thing to have a perfect sizing, I will actually be using just my pen and my hands. So I won't be using a ruler or a compass or a sketch pad, but rather my jotter. Okay, so this will be very simple and won't take long. So we sketch it, and we vectorize it on vector ink and give it a color. All right, so let's dive into this real quick. So here we go, right here. So let's build the letter G first, right? Okay, yeah. So let's start basically from here. Let's start from something like this, and like this way, easy. So I'm actually resting my other part of my arm on this, while I use this to balance my piece so that my hand will be straight, at least, because I'm not using a ruler, right? You get that, right? So then we come to this, to distribute the spacings evenly. We actually do that. We perfect all of that on our vector ink, but right here we just need to pen the idea and sketch out what we want to do, and then we can just take it onto vector ink. All right, so here we go. We do this. So we have this pointed edge right here, and then we do something like this. So why still maintaining this still maintaining this line? All right, so you do this, and then you draw this guy out. All right, so then we close it up right here. Right, okay, so yeah, let's just use our pen to shade it very well, like the edges. Let's do something like this. And then let me just let's give you some shade of colors right here. We have the letter G right here, so this is looking good and better. Okay, right, so we have the letter A that we have to craft right here. So to balance everything up right here, we need to do something whereby we rule out how the letter A will be. Okay, so as you all know, when you are writing letter A, this letter A will be like something like this, right? You have something like this and this. So to now have our letter A, we have something like this, like it comes towards this direction, right? Like something like this is like something like this, okay, and this. So we are looking at that direction from here. So we pick our angles from drawing this right here, like something like this. So we just have, let's say, as me, we have a line. So we have something like this. We don't want this to go above this letter G, right? So we have something like this, and then we have this, right? So we want to do the half face. So I hope you're seeing it. Okay, right here. So we have something like this as well. So just cut this line straight and have this bottom right here as well. Have it straight and down. So we do something like this. Cut the first A right here. That's the first leg, more like a brick that this we stand on. Okay, so we have this, and then we do this. So we close this up. Okay, how we are following, we close this up right here. So that's the first leg of the letter A, right? So let's see if we draw this now. This was when we close up right here. Okay, and then we can do something like this. So it will come from here, and then we draw it down here, right? And then the second one will come from here, and then we have this. Okay, so what do we do? So let's use our pen and craft this very well. So we are not having a full letter A, all right? We're not having a full letter A. We are only having more like a brick setup. So this one is the one holding this, all right? This is a gaming logo, and then we have something like this. Let's use this as a podium for a winner where they stand upon, all right? So this also, let's give it, let's shade it up. Let's shade it up right here. We have it. We have letter G and letter A for gaming arena. So yeah, if you now want to have it a name, like give a name for it, you can publish something like this. We actually find the font that suit this shape. So we have something like gaming gaming arena, right? Something like that. Let me just write this arena. Okay, so you have something like, so the name will just be beneath it. All right, so let's have this, and let's move this to what to our vectoring. So what do we do? Just take a snap of it once you are done crafting. All right, it's something like this. Make it sharp and bold so you can zoom in after. So you just take a snap. All right, that's perfect. So let's move on to the next thing. Yeah, welcome back. So now it's time to vectorize everything with Sketch and Vector Ink and all of that. So let's just get right into it. Basically, if you've been following my videos, you see we've run some basics on Vector Ink and all of that. So basically, first thing we will do, which is just the basic thing first, is to open a new document. So you click on this, open right here, this blank document with an a plus sign, right? Okay, so yeah, click on defaults, and yeah, we have right here. So let's bring in our email, our sketch, by clicking on imports. I think that you have that. Click outside, click on your image, and then you rotate by holding this angle right here, this top angle that is like wide. So it you automatically snap to the side so that you know, okay, this is straight and this is in a perfect position. Do drag it and do this. Click on constraints. This is constraints. So yeah, I have that. Then what's the next thing we do? Basically, we did not used to have our vectors on the same layer where our image is on. Okay, so click on your layers. Click on settings and reduce the opacity to something like this. Click on save, then lock it. For freehand movement, click on this plus icon and add a new layer. This new layer is what we'll be working on. We can rename this new layer to let's name it vectorization, right? So and then click on save. Okay, so click outside, and yeah, we have this, but we need to go back to our layer and increase the size of this our first layer. So right here, I need it to read the edge. Okay, there we go. Go back and lock it, then click on this vectorization. You just need something like this. Okay, duplicate. Let's zoom this. and then drag this way. Delete the one in the middle. I hope you are getting it. Then over these three guys, duplicate while your constraint is still on. Then drag, putting the first line on the last line. Then you can now delete one, the one that is at the top. Okay. Then over all of them, duplicate and then drag. These guys are on each other, so you have to get rid of one of them. So you delete this. So what do we need left? Is this one double? It looks very thick. Okay. Alright then. So what do we need left? These three guys right here. Let's make them work this way. So and then drag. So do we have anyone here? Okay. So trying to check if you have any double lines right there. Alright, let's get rid of these as well. Okay, so here we go. So now what do we need left? We need to draw the lines at the top to cut things through. Okay, so we have this right here. So click on this line. We are not creating another layer for this. We are using just one layer to create everything we need to do. The line that covers the letter G and the letter A, right? Okay, click on selection to then move this to the middle. You might have something like this, right? That's straight up. But instead of now doing this, we need the space to be evenly distributed. Alright, we need them to be evenly distributed. That means we need the lines we've drawn earlier, this sum of one of these lines, to get what we want. So we just copy the first two. Okay, then duplicate it, and you can then rotate. Alright, perfect. So we are having the same sizing for everything there, but so yeah, we do something like this. Let's put it up here. Okay, so let's drag these two and expand them to this last guy. Alright, so since we have something like this, the same way we duplicate all of these guys. So copy. Once it's duplicated, hold on your constraint and drag down. Once done, click on this guy in the middle, just not this guy, not this. Click out this, then delete. Over these three guys again, duplicate, drag down. Alright, click outside, delete this guy right here. Then this over all of them. Do we actually need this? Yes, not all of them. Duplicate the last three. Prevention is better than cure, so all these need to be put into consideration. Okay, drag this to the last guy, right, and then delete this. Okay, that's done, right? So what do we need to do now? We need to now look at this shape right here and what is needed. Looking at this, if we start sketching now, we need this first line right here, second, third. Okay, so what do we have here now? We need this particular shape that is right here, so we actually need another line in between this. So duplicate this one line, then drag it right here. It's more like the middle. Something like this. You create this particular edge. Okay, so once we have this now, now we now need a new line. We need a new line, like something like this. Something like this. Okay, so click on your selection to move this guy a little bit. Okay, so when we cut our letter G, we should be having something similar to what we have in there. So looking at it, let's look at this very well before we grind it. This needs to be placed very well. If you draw this, this needs to have a sharp edge. So we should have something like this. Okay, so if it cuts through here, we have this. All right, draw from here, down here, down. Okay, so now for this, which is for the letter A. See, we already go through this, but we need the letter A, so that will be the lines right here. Okay, so they're having the same height at this joint. All right, so bring this line right here. I will do something like this. The selection to hold it and then do this. All right, but yet, as I said, we need an evenly spacing of every single one of them. All right, so get rid of this and then do this. Select this, the last two guys right here, and copy him. Once you do that, drag this wheel and then rotate. Okay, once we have this, we can do the same thing for the other angle, right? Duplicate this, then go to your position right here, not this, yeah, this, and rotate to the left, right? So then bring this right here. Is our constraint on? We need this constraint to be on. All right, get rid of this, click on these two guys. Now duplicate again, click on your constraint, and here deposition this as well, and then drag. So here we go, because they are both resting on top of each other, right? So what do we need left? The first line, this will cut this will cut this top right here, but yet there is still something. Yeah, so okay, so there's a correction we need to do here, whereby these two guys, these two lines, they're too close somehow. So we click on this and select these two. All right, and then we move them right up here. These lines, this head need to touch each other, was when we start to sketch, to sculpture everything, it has to align perfectly well. Okay, so if we go right here, these guys need to meet. They need to meet here. Yes, perfect. So what do we have left? We have this, and all of that. Okay, all right, okay, now we are good to go, since we've put out everything we need. So what else do we have to do now? So that will be the final touch. I hope you are getting it. If you have any question, feel free to drop them in the comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. So click on this layer, right? Come back to this layer 1, reduce the opacity a little bit more, and then let's go back. So now, as you all know, you hover over everything. Okay, and then we click on our path builder tool. Then we're going to start with this letter G right here. If you can't see your stuff very well, you can zoom in very well to see everything clearly. Okay. Okay. I ain't done yet. So yeah. Okay. That's the first letter G. I hope you're getting it. And then we do this, we come to our letter A. The first one right here. These guys are meeting. Alright. Close up. Okay. Good. And then the last but not the least, we have this.
Oggi sarei potuto
All lines, all edges must get closed down. So hold up, zoom this, and then start drawing again. Yours. That is it by it right there. So then this is the letter G and A that we have out there. So what's the next thing we are supposed to do right here? Click on the selection tool, and this G and A will come out well on their own. All the other lines will be gone. That is the magic. All right. So let's do this. Click on selection, and then boom, we have this. Okay, perfect. So we are not supposed to move this yet. Go back, go to your layers, hide this guy, and then we have this. So click on this, prioritize everything, and then go to your positioning, and we have this right here. So as you know, what we sketch, we have these guys resting on each other. So what do we do after we sketch them finish? You can do something like this. Bring this here, and then go to your position right here. Let's go to our constraint and move this. Is this duplicated? No. Can have something like this. But yeah, that doesn't really go where we was we crafted. So we have this. Here we go. We need to put in a color right here. So we can just do something like this over these guys. Over all of them. And then let's reposition them. And then here we go. So we can just fill in. Let's fill everything black up. Drag down. There we go. So we have this letter G and A. We can then resize them by doing something like this. You see, the sizes are not shrinking. They are not. There's no blemish on this and all of that. So you can just write a name. So we go to our text tool and put something like something gaming. The name right here. Gaming Arena. So let's use this. Click on this, zoom, and then we have this. If I turn this constraint off, turn this over, so zoom this. and then we can still click on our constraint and then do something like this. We can do something like move it up a little bit. Then we have this gaming arena, a gaming logo. We can fill this with color. You can do that if you want to, and we can just hold up everything and then reposition them. Here we go to the middle, right? So we can do something like this. Have some kind of different feel, not the stroke, but this instead. Stroke out. Okay. And there we have it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. See you in our next video. Thank you.